Hello everyone, it's Sammy Ayo again with SAA Services and B&S Farms, working with my honeybees again. As you all have been watching my last most recent videos, I told you I was getting 3 more packages. Well, I got them today, and what I'm going to be doing is, in this video, I'm going to be installing these 3 packages. I'm just going to show one of them, but I wanted to do a video of me installing the package of bees into my hives. Okay, so we're going to put our protective gear on first. I like to wear denim shirt, denim pants, and this veil, these long gloves. These are for beekeeping. I do have a large, full beekeeping suit. I prefer not to wear it if I don't have to, which I usually don't around here. Works great for me. I'm usually not stung doing this, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it this way, I would suggest you get a full suit. So what we're going to do, first we're going to set this to the side. We're going to remove the covers off of here. Then we're going to remove 3 frames from here, from this hive for now, just to shake the bees out of the package into our hive. Now, I also have a 2-frame feeder in here. I showed this in one of my previous videos. This holds a gallon of water. A gallon of sugar water for feed. I'm not going to feed them today. I have been advised by people who have been doing this a lot longer that they're going to be so shook up and disturbed that they're liable to just go in there and drown and not, actually drink the water, but drown themselves in it. So I'll feed them tomorrow after they settle down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove this feeder. So this is what a package of bees looks like. Let me back up a little bit here. This is what a package of bees looks like. It comes, there's supposed to be 3 pounds of live bees in here. If you'll see in the top, there's a can. It's full with liquid candy. It's got a couple of holes popped in the bottom of it, and it's slowly dripping candy out, and this is what the bees are feeding on right now while they're in this package. Also, if you look real close, right here, there's a little pinkish purplish plastic piece. That's the queen hanging from a cage. I showed this the other day and I'll show it again. The queen is hanging from a cage in there by herself. These bees are getting acclimated and used to that queen. They are learning the queen is learning them. Everybody is learning to get along with one another. If you was just to throw bees in here and throw a queen in there, the bees would probably kill the queen. In most cases, they would kill the queen. This allows the bees and the queen to get acclimated with one another, get used to one another, like one another. And there's a cork on the end of this queen cage. I'll show that to you in a minute also. So the opening for the queen cage is packed with candy and then corked to keep her safe for now. I will remove the cork. I will hang her between 2 of these frames from a toothpick. I'll show you that in a minute also. And then I will take the cork off, and over the course of the next 2 to 3 days, the worker bees will eat that candy out and release the queen. In the meantime, getting used to her, getting acclimated to her, her getting acclimated to the bees, and everybody's happy by the time she's released. So let's start by removing this candy can. And I don't want to remove it completely because I don't want bees flying out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it just enough. I'm going to ease it up out of this hole. And I want to get the queen out first. So now I'm going to take my hive tool, and I'm going to try to shove her out near the edge. I got her near the edge, and I'm going to reach in here with my pliers and try to get her out of here. See, we got bees coming out already. Whoops. I'm trying to get this queen out of here. Because I want to, once I get her released, okay, now, I'm going to cover this back up. I'm trying to keep the bees in there for now. Now what I'm going to do here is, I'll show you all closer. Grip my toothpick. I'm going to step over here closer to you all. So the queen is in this cage. I'll remove these bees, and hopefully you can see the queen crawling around in that cage. That's the queen bee in that cage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run a toothpick carefully through this cage. I do not want to kill that queen. She's one of the most important bees, if not the most important bee in this hive. So I'm going to run a toothpick through here after she gets out of the way. I got it. Now, I was telling you about the cork. There's the cork, okay? Behind this cork, this opening is filled with candy, okay? So what I'm going to do is, before I hang her in there, I'm going to take the cork off, and I'm going to hang her between two frames, and over the course of the next 3 or 4 days, they'll eat that candy out, and she will come out of this queen cage. So now, we're going to hang her between two frames. I'm going to hang her between these two frames right here. I'm going to take the cork off and hang her across with a toothpick across these two frames. Now, she's set. Now what we're going to do is make myself a little room. I'm going to take this candy can off of here, what they've been feeding on, and I'm fixing to shake all these bees into this hive. Now, the bees are getting used to this queen already. They're already, the bees that have come out of here are still staying near this queen. They are around this hive. This queen is right here. They know her pheromones. They're getting used to her pheromones. They want to be with her. And so that's why these bees that I just released are staying near this area, because they smell that queen. They know her pheromones. Now I'm fixing to shake the rest of these bees off in there. I'm just shaking these bees down in here. Just filling this hive with these 3 pounds of bees. Now at the bottom of this hive, I also have a queen excluder. I'm going to shake these bees to one side or the other. I want to get them all to fall in here. I try not to beat this cage up too bad, because the guy I'm buying the packages from, I try to return them. Now, I'm going to put these other 2 frames in here. 3 frames, I'm sorry. Put these other 3 frames back in here. Okay, got my 3 frames back in there. Now this candy, it's still, this is why I leave the second, normally you don't have, for a new hive you don't have 2 boxes, but I'm leaving these on here because this candy is still in this can. Well, that's food for them, and I don't want to waste the food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this candy upside down in here, and I'm going to put this second box on top. That leaves room for that can. I'm going to put the second hive on here. I accidentally killed a few bees. You're not going to do this without harming bees. That's just almost impossible. I'm going to put this first ventilating lid on top here. And then I'm going to put the main lid on top. Trying not to harm bees, but it's almost impossible. And the last thing I'm going to do, make sure you can see this, is for the few remaining bees that are left in this package here, I'm just going to set it right here. The queen is in there. Almost all the bees are in there. The candy's in there. And I put, again, most of the bees in there. These remaining bees are going to go back. Almost every one of them will go back in the hive because that queen's in there. Now, I mentioned a little bit earlier, I also have a queen excluder at the bottom of this. I showed you all in a few previous videos my queen excluders. So when she gets released in about 3 or 4 days, we don't want her to just fly out the hive, which is probably unlikely, but we don't want to take any chances. I got a queen excluder in there. It's a little screen looking thing, got a bunch of wires that's just big enough for the worker bees to go in and out, but too close together for a mature queen to go out of. The queen is about 50% bigger than a regular bee. So she shouldn't fit through those wires unless she is way smaller than an average queen bee. Also, at the bottom of this hive, I have an entrance reducer. You got a 1-inch hole and a 4-inch hole. Right now I got it set at the 1-inch hole so that most of these bees, they won't just come flying out the hive. Most of them are going to be staying in there, they're going to be fighting their way in and out. So I got that entrance reducer and a queen excluder. Queen's in there, the bees are in there, the candy that came with the package is in there, and so far we're looking like a success. So this is what you do. This is how you install a new package. This was what this video was about. I feel pretty good about it right now. It's looking pretty good. This is about the 6th or 7th one I've done in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and this is probably the most success I've had on my own as a novice. So I hope this was informative and helpful. If you're trying to start your own bee operation, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, please by all means subscribe, like, and share to my channel. Y'all have a good blessed day. Today is Good Friday. Remember what it's about, please, and y'all have a good day.